San Diegans love their neighborhood signs. Communities from Encinitas to Chula Vista don't just have them, they celebrate them. Those fireworks marked the 25th anniversary of the restoration of the Hillcrest sign. While most communities opt for a modest concrete or wood sign on the side of the road, San Diego County seems to go big and elaborate. El Cajon's sign over Main Street has lighting effects that change with the temperature.
East San Diego had a sign kind of like the Wheel of Fortune letters. Each letter was kind of its own little box on a track.
Kenton Finkbeiner says now it's time for City Heights to show off. He's leading a campaign for private donations to bring a neighborhood sign back to his community, which used to be called East San Diego. Its first sign, the one with the Wheel of Fortune letters, hung in the early 1900s at the border of City Heights and North Park.
Sometime during the Prohibition era, I'm guessing somewhere in the 1920s, 1930s, that sign at Boundary was removed and it was replaced at the corner of University and Fairmont.
Community members want to put their sign here, where the neighborhood's second sign hung from 1954 to 1968.
The city had to remove it to widen the street. The new sign would have neon lights, marquee-style light bulbs, and cast concrete posts with designs celebrating the neighborhood's diversity.
City Heights is an interesting neighborhood. It really struggles, in my opinion, for identity. It's one of those things where you've got so many people coming and going that there's very, very few uniting factors. What is the one thing that we can all unify under? And that is things like bits of architecture, things that give the neighborhood kind of that's what we're about, that's what we look like.
Finkbeiner bought and remodeled a foreclosure in the neighborhood in 2008. He says his pitch to longtime residents to put up a sign wasn't a slam dunk. Many in the community are wary of gentrification.
Before we even got to a look, we spent 5 or 6 once-a-month meetings talking about what was it going to do to the neighborhood.
So what do these signs do for neighborhoods?
There's not a day goes by that I don't see someone out there taking a photograph in front of the arch.
Luann Holsizer heads the 3rd Avenue Village Association in Chula Vista. She says the sign there set the pace for economic development along 3rd Avenue.
We have found and discovered even in the last few years, it becomes a place of destination, it becomes a meeting place. So now people can say, let's go to the village, let's go to the 3rd Avenue Village, let's meet for dinner, let's shop, let's dine there. Here we have the 3rd Avenue Ale House. It will be our first tasting room.
Holsizer credits the sign and branding that spun off of it with bringing the community its first craft beer bar. 3rd Avenue Ale House is scheduled to open later this year. But 6 miles north in Barrio Logan, Rachel Ortiz says a sign's meaning is all in how you read it.
And then in 1970, it was our first barrio station.
She grew up in Barrio Logan and has run a community nonprofit there since the 70s. In that time, Ortiz has pushed back against junkyard operators, waterfront businesses, downtown developers, even homeless service providers who had their eyes on Barrio Logan land.
A lot of the houses that I used to go to as a teenager, junkyard owners bought them and slapped fences around them. It's, oh my God, my community, it's disappearing,
With funding from the port, Ortiz and her neighbors raised their neighborhood sign in December.
It's a sign of barrio resistance to gentrification, barrio resistance to being gobbled up by the waterfront industries.
So what will a neighborhood sign bring to City Heights? The only thing for certain is a stake in San Diego tradition and something to celebrate.
It's one of those things that kind of includes us, like, hey, City Heights is really trying and doing its best job to really come up in the world.
Megan Burks, KPBS News.